Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ranger tier list.
Yeah.
So this was something that we planned for a little while, considering that there's quite a few characters, not as many as people would expect, but there are a few that we can actually talk about and rank because we all have our favorites now, especially Tyler, who is, as you call it, the Power Rangers virgin.
Yep.
Yeah.
But before we get into the tier list proper, there are a few Rangers missing, but I feel like we could probably just knock them out first because there's either not much to say or they just aren't that great.
Yeah, so the first one we want to talk about, I feel like we should go in chronological order. So first would be the Alien Rangers. Personally, as a group, I like them. I like the concept of them being these aliens from that have access to the morphing grid, and they have their own culture and ideas. But the main issue that I have with it is that, can you tell me can anyone exactly tell me what any of the Alien Rangers did that weren't Oracle or Delphine?
It's just the issue with them is like they didn't give them like enough like personality or anything. It's just like
either that or they just didn't talk. Like, I don't think
I praise the Almighty when they don't talk because I hate that audio filter they use for them.
Yeah, when they're like, we're meant to be underwater because we're from the planet Aquitar.
But you're currently not underwater, and that noise is grating.
It's like the Piranatrons are choking. It wouldn't surprise me if it really is just the recycled sound effect that was used for the Piranatrons.
It sounds way better with them.
Yeah, with just any way to bring up the Piranatrons because they're not lazy, they're not stupid, they're not chicken.
They are one of the most competent henchmen in Power Rangers history.
I honestly want to do that, like a villains and henchmen tier list, just to like talk about the issue of the Piranatrons and like why people hate them so much.
as long as I get the trash.
Whoever wrote that song, why did they hate Piranatrons?
It was Ron Masterman. Ron Masterman wrote that song.
Okay.
So, you said the Alien Rangers would be an average if they were on here, didn't you, Tyler?
Yeah, probably average because they just didn't talk much or had no personality.
Yeah.
Next one, I also noticed isn't on here. Trey of Triforia.
Can we just say bad? Yeah. Not for the characters themselves, but mainly for the controversy recently with the actors.
I thought this was all about like the unnecessary red herring of a character we didn't even know.
Yeah,
that too.
But the actors have really tarnished Trey's reputation.
What little reputation he had, he wasn't a character. He was a plot device split three ways.
Yes, he was a plot device split three ways, and I don't get. I do get the behind the scenes issue of why it wasn't just Billy who was the Gold Ranger.
No, the part I don't get is why did we need this act in the first place? It could have been like the morphing device, the rod was just hurtling towards Earth, and then one of the past Rangers found it, and that's how they got the pyramid.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like, just wasted potential with Seal's storyline by not having. Even if they didn't want Billy to be the Gold Ranger, they had a perfectly good candidate there, David Trueheart, Tommy's brother. and it's like why I honestly want to go back in time and ask David's actor Eric Frank, who is Jason and Frank's real life brother, why he didn't become the Gold Ranger.
Probably because he did had something else to do. Maybe just did the episodes is it's like I got nothing much going on at the moment. I'm gonna be over here to support my brother.
Yeah, I still would like to know. But it's just one of those things that we're never gonna know.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, the Blue Centurion.
Great. I love the Blue Centurion.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you guys talk while I go and just address something with my family briefly?
Okay. Blue Centurion definitely goes in the great tier because while he wasn't in any episodes, the episodes he was there for were absolutely amazing. He's just the biggest sweetheart ever.
He just brings something to the he is a very good supporting, member of the team.
Yeah, he helps old ladies cross the street, fixes up people's bikes. Like, what's not to love? But next up is the Phantom Ranger, who is basically just a walking mystery character. Like, literally, he shows up in 2 series and basically like, here, guys, here's your new Zords. Have fun. I'm going to go take a vacation on Jupiter or some shit. I don't know.
That is kind of funny because his counterpart in the card basically did the same thing. Here's your new Zords. I'm going to disappear for a long time.
Yeah. I'd probably either put Phantom Ranger in average or bad. No worries. But yeah, that's all the auxiliary rangers.
I am back.
Welcome back. We just finished up talking about the Phantom Ranger.
Oh, okay, yeah, Phantom Ranger. Who care? Well, I guess there's only one person that would care about the Phantom Ranger, and she's on this list.
We'll get to that.
I just want to go back to the Blue Centurion briefly. Like, I just adore him. I love the RoboCop style aesthetic with him, and the fact that he can wear a jumper cardigan as well, and he. Why haven't they brought him back? Why haven't they brought him back?
I don't know, but with all the auxiliary rangers out of the way, we can finally get this tier list started.
Yep. So first on our list is the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Park, played by Johnny Young, mother effing Bosch. I think we can all agree that Adam goes in amazing.
I'd personally put him in great, but I can concede to amazing. I feel that I really did like Adam's character, even if he doesn't really have an ongoing character arc.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of the Zordon Era Rangers is that aside from Andro, oh my god, yeah, aside from Andros, there's not they don't really have an ongoing story arc. Now, when we get to later seasons, because they only have 1 season to work with the Rangers, they do tend to flesh them out a bit more, give them more personality and identity and character growth, as we've seen with going through Lost Galaxy briefly with Kai, how he's starting to become a little bit more of a more lenient character as opposed to the rules are the rules type character. Yeah. But what I do tend to love most about Adam is just his general honesty as a character. He just says what needs to be said and tries his best to do the right thing, even if it does come at the expense of himself. And a perfect example of that is when he returned in space. He Carlos was getting his ass handed to him, and he felt like he was the only one who could actually do something at the time, even though it did the risk of him. It was potential risk that he could have actually died. Zangetsu, are you still there? Yeah, I guess Zangetsu has gone muted again. Technical issues on Zangetsu's part. But no, we'll wait. We'll put Adam on hold for a moment until Zangetsu gives his thoughts. But there was something else I was going to say about Adam. Yeah. Another great example of Adam's character, just his general honesty, is what he did for Skull in Power Rangers CO.
Oh yeah,
you remember that episode where Skull was revealed to be the mysterious piano player, and he was like, "Look, just be yourself." Yeah. And when everyone else was laughing at him, Adam was the only one who wasn't actually laughing. I was actually encouraging, like giving him the confidence boost to be like, "Hey, this is what I do, and I love doing this." So I would definitely put Adam in amazing, but we'll wait until Zangetsu gets back. Unless Zangetsu, you want to put your thought in Discord on where you would stack with Adam, because I know you can hear us. So just let us know where you would put Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and technical issues on Zangetsu's part. So I don't know what else can you say about Adam?
I guess there's really nothing else we can really say about Adam's character. We've kind of covered all our bases.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that.
There you are. You're back. So where would you put Adam?
Adam? I'm putting him in amazing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Why would you put him for amazing?
Like this like way before like his voice acting and other stuff. It's just like even when like the focus isn't on him, he's just there where they need him.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's like, oh, he's just there. It's like, well, at the time, like he's not the Red Ranger. He's not. Like a lot of the focus isn't always on him.
Yeah, he kind of does become like if it wasn't for Billy stepping down in if he kind of does take on like that pseudo leader position more so than Rocky half the time.
Yeah.
After they switch from Mighty Morphin to CEO, it's kind of like he's in the secondary position, and but I feel like that's only because Billy decided to step down. But yeah, Adam really did take on like I am the backup leader for when Tommy has to go off and do something. Yeah. So yeah, that was Adam, and now we have got Aisha, very underrated Ranger in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Aisha suffers from what I like to call the problem with Tanya, and we will get to Tanya. If I had to pick my least favorite Mighty Morphin Mighty Morphin / Steel Ranger, it would definitely be Tanya. We'll get to her when we get to her. But yeah, Aisha as a character, I would put her in good. I mean, she's not. I don't think she tops great, but she's certainly not. She's certainly above average, in my opinion.
I can get behind that. I feel like I can definitely get behind that. I do feel Aisha what was a good character, and I feel like I just kind of wish they would do her her exit a little bit better.
Yeah, that is. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because like I don't think there was much you could do to keep her actress on the show, but I do feel there were better ways to write her out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, rather than I'm gonna send her into the past, and then I'm gonna stay here in the past, and yep, somehow in once and always I'm back in the future.
Yeah, that's the big question. How is Aisha back? What does she just have? What do her parents just have clones of her in a sub lab like?
Well,
like Dr. Brace and DBCA.
Well, considering considering the fact that we actually met her parents at one point, then yeah, they must do. And also considering the fact that her ancestor, even though she's not from Angel Grove, she's from Stone Canyon, she still has an ancestor in Angel Grove.
I mean that's not really like that much of an issue. People do move.
Yeah, good point. But at the same time, I just find it would have been,
and that kind of makes sense considering those places are like right next to each other.
Yeah, good point. So yeah, where would you say I should start? I definitely put her in good, above average. If you guys have any other ideas, go ahead.
I'm teetering on good at the highest, average at the lowest.
Yeah.
For me, I would probably put her in the top of average.
Okay. All right. So we'll say average for Aisha then.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, and again, she does fill the role of best friend to Kimberly really well, and then becomes the best friend to Catherine after she joins the team, even though she adopts her as a cat.
The PC cat.
Yeah.
And now we have the big man, the one who actually does have a character arc, Andros.
Oh, Andros, Mr. Reese's peanut butter cup hair.
Mr. Reese's peanut butter cup hair, Legolas.
Yeah, just a reminder, his actor hated the hair for obvious reasons.
Did he really?
Yes, he hated it because it took him forever for it to get done.
Yeah. Oh, I could
imagine terrible damage to his hair.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
His hair looks great now, but if he kept doing that, he would have been bald like me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If he kept changing his hair. Well, actually, you want to know what's funny? Try having a contest about changing hairstyles between Andros and his sister when she was an astronomer.
Change hair. She just put on like fancy wigs.
All right. So I love Andros as a character. Like I said, I feel like out of all the Zordon Era characters, aside from Billy, I would say he's the one that has like the most clear-cut character arc. Like going from this stoic loner type character who's like, I just don't want to have to deal with you guys, to accepting them as like his new family essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my God, like Power Rangers in Space, you need to rename yourself Power Rangers: The Tragedy of Andros, because, like I said, how many tragedies does this guy have in his life? The
tragedy of his actor, because he got, not only did he have to have that hairstyle he hated, he also got harassed by like fans.
Oh, in what way?
I mean, literally, they sent them letters. How dare you kill Zordon?
Oh my God! Like that was Andros'
that actually happened.
That was Andros' most defining character moment of the fact, like there was no choice in the matter. Like the universe was at stake. The Earth was going to get captured. Zordon was basically saying to him, "You need to do this because you are a Power Ranger, and regardless of who I am, you have to put the needs of the many above me."
No, I basically, me personally, I would chuck it up to like, probably a person who watched like season 1 of Power, and they hopped in on that one episode because it's like, oh, it's the finale of this. Let me go ahead and watch it. And it's like, what? He killed Zordon?
Although there is, thank God for something that's coming up in a future season, because if a certain thing had happened, then then the death threats probably would have started again. So I think you know what I'm alluding to. It's a certain episode where Andros comes back.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. But yeah, and Andros, and what I love so much about his character is the fact that the because looking at the behind the scenes on his actor, is that he was actually encouraged to like distance himself from the cast to kind of to kind of make the loner type character more believable, and it did pay off. It did pay off really well, because he did really come across as like that at the beginning. But my main issue with Andros, and this is more having rewatched the whole of In Space recently, is that even though technically him and Ashley are together, they don't really focus on it as much as they really could have done, if that makes sense. I don't know about you guys.
I can kind of guess why they also didn't go there, because it was just like, oh, we gotta, this is cool and all. We're gonna focus more on like the action and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's kind of a coincidence that they're both side by side in this tier list, Ashley and Andros. But yeah, I just for the fact that that aside from Billy, which we're getting up to him, he's the only one that actually has an arc that he goes through. I would definitely put Andros in amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt, I'd argue he's the best character here.
Oh,
I would argue for somebody else, and they're coming soon.
I am gonna argue for someone else as well. But I'll definitely put him above Adam. He definitely goes above Adam. Now, Ashley. Honestly, I don't really have anything really positive or negative to say about Ashley. I feel like she does come into her own more. I feel like that's the problem with Ashley, Carlos, and well, not so much Cassie. Before we get to In Space, is that they really just came in and as a way of just like, we need to find a way to replace the cast quickly, because Tommy, Adam, and everyone are going to be leaving. So I don't feel like they've really got a grasp on what they really wanted to do with Ashley and Carlos in Turbo. But going into In Space, they kind of did figure out stuff for them to actually do. But with Ashley, I just really don't have anything positive or negative to say about her. She's kind of like with Aisha, just in the kind of average tier. I don't know about you guys.
I agree with that. I mean, like her interactions with like Cassie and Andros are kind of cute. I wish she kept that kind of like because like in her first episode and Carlos's first episode as well, she was basically the only like the person that kept Carlos's ego in check.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wish Carlos kept his antagonist, like not antagonisted, but like his ego, at least for Turbo, and like Ashley's being like the person to like keep that shit in check, because I like kind of like I'm trying to think of the name.
Who are you trying to think of?
Never mind. But basically, the whole point I'm trying to get across is, there could totally be an episode. Well, actually, that was basically their introductory episode. Carlos gets a big. Carlos goes on an ego trip. Ashley kind of grounds him in reality and be like, "You're not hot shit."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They really could have kept that going as like a dynamic. But yeah, I would definitely put Ashley in average. What about you, Zangetsu?
Put her in average as well.
Would you say she's a better character than Aisha?
Yes, just slightly.
Slightly better. All
Very
right.
slightly.
Very slightly. Now, this is the one I've been waiting for the most. Our man, the myth, the legend that is Billy Cranston, the Tony Stark of Power Rangers, as I like to call him now. Amazing.
Except, unlike Tony, I actually love Billy.
Yeah, unlike Tony, Billy's actually a decent person.
There's no contest. Billy's an amazing character. Billy's an amazing character for one key reason. He broke away from the stereotypical. Even though he's a stereotypical nerd, he's actually respected. Like, I don't know if you know, it's like Billy. Like you would think, like, out of all the characters in Power Rangers, Billy would be the easiest to target for, like, hey, being a bully is wrong style story. Like, but he never really gets bullied all that much throughout the series, if you really think about it.
Yeah,
and it's just Bulk and Skull, and it's like I've talked about it before with y'all. It's like this weird case of which, like, Bulk and Skull are bullying the popular kids, and you never see this type of dynamic in any other show.
Yeah, and it's amazing as well, because you wouldn't think, like, a character like okay, I know you don't like him, and we'll get into him soon, Tyler. But you would never think a character like Jason and Billy would go hand in hand. Like, Jason is the stereotypical popular guy. Billy's the nerd. You would think that Jason would be the one doing the bullying to Billy, but no, they actually treat each other with the utmost respect throughout the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially Tommy. Like, when Tommy comes in, because Tommy is the definition of the popular new kid in school, and even he's like, "Hey, Billy, my dude." And I love, like, how when Billy starts off in the first episode, he's kind of like a bit nervous of his ability. Like, I don't really know if I have what it takes into me to be a martial artist. I like, Billy, you've got a physique that most male models would be jealous over. But when he gets to the command center, it is like he is pretty much in heaven when he's in the command center. Like, just the way he's like, all this tech around him, the fact that he gets to speak his techno babble, and nobody's like, what are you going on about, Billy? And just for the fact that he makes pretty much every single most of the gadgets that are utilized by the Power Rangers for the most part from My Morphin to CEO, just puts him leagues above most of the other Rangers. But also as well, there are things that you have to question about Billy, of like, how is he able to do this? Case in point, the Rad Bug. How did Billy build a flying car? Oh,
I believe Billy is like, that's more believable than a dinosaur priest building a flying car.
I mean,
wait! Was the flying car in Shoe Ranger?
Yes.
Who built a flying car in Shoe Ranger?
I just said who built it.
Dinosaur priest.
A dinosaur priest?
Yeah, the guy who's supposed to be the parallel to, like, Zordon for his series. It's supposed to be like the yeah.
Oh, I love this franchise. I love it. It's so stupid. Oh my god! But yeah, Billy just one of the greatest Rangers ever, and despite what happened in the past with his actor, like I said in the Once and Always video that we did, I'm really glad that they brought his actor back and basically gave him the main character role in that special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's very clear Billy is the main character because he's always at the like on the posters in the Megazord, he's at the forefront. And I've got to say it, Tyler, catch these hands. Oh my god! But yeah, Billy, amazing. Billy was the candidate that I would say would be above Andros. Like, if there was anyone to give Andros run for his money in terms of best ranger, it would definitely be Billy.
Oh yeah, I definitely say that Billy would give Andros a run for his money. And before In Space, I would definitely be saying Billy is the best character in all Power Ranger, Zordon Era. But I think just Andros' character, like Andros' entire story throughout In Space, I think that is able to like edge Billy out. Even then, that's only by a small margin.
Yeah. So, Zangetsu, you're the deciding factor here. Does Billy go above Andros?
They're neck and neck. They're incredible characters.
Oh.
But I'm going to give Billy the slight edge of him building like a set of Megazords for two teams.
Yeah,
exact team.
Yeah, because it's very much implied that Billy built the turbo swords, and I have explained probably the reason why is because more than likely the CO crystal would have gone so powerful that the Rangers couldn't control their powers anymore. That's my explanation. I'm sticking with it. So yeah. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say about Billy. Oh my, yeah. Another thing I love about Billy is when they turn him evil. Like, and he turns, especially one of the first times when it's like him and Kimberly get turned evil, and they're just like really punk style, trying to be punk style hipsters.
The show really loved Evil Billy. It's like it's weird that it happened more than once.
Who wouldn't love Evil Billy? And also Billy getting all the ladies. Which, I don't know, like, now that, in hindsight, knowing what we know about Billy and his actor, do you think that was trying to say something about Billy's actor, of him always getting all the ladies?
No.
Or am I reading
like that? I think it's that one thing they were trying to do, like what Seinfeld did, was like have like the nerdy guy with the glasses always dating like hot chicks for some reason.
Okay. I'm reading way too deep into it. But yeah, Billy, we love you, man. So now Carlos.
Let me enunciate every other word I'm about to say.
Don't get me started on it. Like, I'm gonna say this about Carlos. Like, as much as I hate his enunciation in Turbo, he did mellow out after in his space. Like, I will say that. But but there is one other character coming up in a future season, which, if you think Carlos's enunciations were annoying, this character will make it insufferable. You know, I think you've got an idea of which character I'm referring to, Zangetsu. It's the season with a particular theme song that everybody despises. Oh, when we get to that Ranger, there is gonna be a lot of needing to remove anything breakable from the room. But yeah, Carlos, like, just stop it with your enunciation. That's the main issue I have with Carlos as a character in Turbo, is that he just enunciates everything. Like right now, I am trying to get my Shatner acting in check.
Which didn't even make any sense. Like he didn't do that in Star Trek. It was like I'm with him on that. Like he did a reaction to people like trying to impersonate him, and he's like, I never did that, not once. What is this?
Did he wait? Has he gone back and watched his acting in Turbo?
No, I was talking about William.
Oh, William Shatner. Oh, I thought you were referring to Carlos' actor. But yeah, but like I said, when he gets to In Space, he becomes a lot more tolerable. But just Turbo itself, the fact that we had to spend 25 episodes of him just enunciating all the time, that just brought him down so much for me. And he had so much potential, like Tyler said. He could have been the Ranger that comes in and has like the biggest ego boost, because as we recall with TJ, he said, I always wanted to be a Power Ranger when I was a little kid. Carlos could have exaggerated that and be like, I'm a Power Ranger now. I am looked up by people. People should be respecting me automatically. I don't know, and I really think that could have been a great character arc for him. Like, he just comes in as this massive ego trip and then is brought down a peg, like what you said, Tyler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm teetering on Carlos, but I will say, like, the thing that redeems him is that he has that episode with Adam returning in space that kind of like elevates his character up a bit.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So where would you put Carlos?
For me, I'd put Carlos either at the very least the very top of average, but I'd probably put him in good.
Okay. What about you, Zangetsu?
I feel like the very bottom of good. He would have stayed in bad if he kept doing the enunciation thing.
Yeah. If he had started off to, if he had gone to that point where in the Always a Chance episode where he was like, no, Power Ranger, then I would have been like, oh, shut up, Carlos. And I would definitely put him at the very top of average. So where would you say overall we'll put him?
I maintain my answer.
Yeah, what was your answer again?
Good.
Good. Okay, we'll put him in good. Fair enough. Now, everyone's favorite alien-obsessed Power Ranger that falls in love at the first sight of aliens, whether they're phantoms or silver, Cassie,
or even her own fucking dog.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't even get me. Oh my god, I forgot about. I almost forgot about that episode. But yeah, Cassie. I don't know what it was, but they seem to really love giving Cassie, like, oh my god, can you imagine if Cassie and Billy were in the same season? Because they seem to be obsessed with giving Cassie love interest in the same way that they seem to be obsessed with giving Billy love interest. Like, just bring those two together. Now I really want that to happen in a future special. Billy meets Cassie and see what happens. But yeah, Cassie as a character, I honestly I think she's all right. Despite her weird obsession with getting love interests of all kinds, I do like her, particularly for the fact that she is the first Ranger to have a love interest that is canonically, well, not canonically, more implied to be autistic, with that Lenny character from that episode. Oh, Lenny, I love you. But yeah, there is an episode coming up in Lost Galaxy, which I really wish that what had happened, but hey, for what it's worth, they could have gone a lot worse, and it really would have elevated Cassie's character up a lot more. You'll understand when it happens, Tyler. We'll get to that point.
All right.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know, but there are Ranger team ups coming up. So yeah, the In Space Rangers, they will be back.
Sweet.
Yeah, so look forward to that. But yeah, as it stands right now, I would put Cassie in good. I would definitely put her above Carlos.
Oh, for sure, definitely. And she's partially the reason why we get a certain Red Ranger, the part of the team. So that's also plus in her book.
Yeah.
Because he would have just left if it wasn't for
her. Oh yeah, TJ. What's TJ gonna leave? Or was it
definitely wouldn't have went without her?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh
yeah,
right,
kind of urged TJ into action.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's definitely going above Carlos in that regard.
But now it's my turn to shine. We got Jason Lee.
Have your rants, Tyler.
Cardboard karate man. Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna hot take with this. I do not like Jason. Not one bit. I think he is bland karate man who literally showed like no growth, no development, no interesting characteristics, nothing. Dude is... I'd prefer the cardboard cutout because at least you can make the cardboard cutout seem kind of cool. Jason is not cool.
I think the
back
issue
at the
is...
Gold Ranger. Jason sucks. Okay, I'll preface this like if you like Jason, then it's fine. I respect that, but like, I'm sorry, just Jason is just not interesting. When he shows, the only time he showed interesting traits as a leader was when he was on his way out.
And also when he had to fight Goldar without his powers.
Yeah, I just want to state, like, it could have worked in which, like, if he was, like, if they made it so in which he would, like, influence the team with, like, his good behavior traits, but the team was already, like, at least with Mighty Morphin, for example.
They were already idealized goody goods.
Yeah, so if he was just, like, if they weren't, like, that good at fighting, or they just had really bad, like, traits that were like, whoa, you could possibly get in, like, trouble with this or sort of thing. At least, like, one or two of the Rangers, and his influence rubbed off on them and made them a better person, then him being, like, kind of a cardboard cutout would have worked, like, slightly.
Yeah. And
because that's the type of thing you want with a character like that, in which, like, they already are what they are, you know.
Yeah, and it's also sad when the only positive thing you can say about Jason is in the first, Jason, bold and powerful. It's like, okay, anything else? Nothing else. He's just bold and powerful. But also as well, like, literally, anyone who says, like, Jason is the greatest Red Ranger in the world, because no, Tyler, I'm gonna, yeah,
they do exist.
They do exist. Like, there's so many people out there. Like, literally, there's someone else who's reacting to my Morphin, like doing what we're doing, but they're doing it like on YouTube, doing the reaction videos, and they've said Jason is the greatest Red Ranger. And I implore anybody out there who watches this video to answer, like, put in the comments or anything, answer this one simple question. What can you tell us about Jason that does not involve him being a leader and involving being a martial arts expert and a ranger? What can you tell us about Jason that's not the Ranger? I would love anybody to answer that question because it is difficult.
Yeah,
It is
it's
difficult.
like they made they wrote the character down. They just forgot to give him
A
a
personality. Whereas with Billy, he you can say so much about him. Like he's the stereotypical nerd, but at the same time they subvert the tropes about that and make him an actually popular guy who hangs around with the popular kids and is able to build all the tech that is utilized by the Rangers, including the seal swords. Like, did Jason build the seal swords? No.
No, he was the stunt double for a plot device.
Yeah, and also did Jason take part in the baby carriage scene in season 2? No.
Well, that's because he wasn't there for. Well,
I know. Well, technically, but at the same time, he kind of was. Well,
no,
actually,
he wasn't there.
I know. Which means he didn't have to suffer through the losing of. Oh, maybe that's why Jason Lee Scott Austin St. John left, is because they found out, like, oh my god, all my wages have been wasted on diapers and food.
Also, I do love that they replaced him with Hank Hill Ranger. That bit was funny.
I love that. The fact that you can tell when the morph, like, yeah, this doesn't sound like Jason at all.
The only good part about Jason is everybody loves him when he says back to action. That is it.
Yeah. Oh my. Well.
Which is a line that needs to come back because that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Well.
Even though it's like fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think we can universally agree Jason goes in this specific tier. Would you like that, Tyler? Or do you think he goes lower than bad?
Yes.
Oh, there's characters that are gonna go into trash later. You wait.
Would you say
but they're not in this era?
No, they're not in this era. We've got a while to go before we get to them. Because there is a Red Ranger worse than Jason. You'll know who it is when we get to it, Tyler. But are you all right with him going in bad?
Yes.
Tyler?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
I am.
All right.
Yes.
Now, next up is everyone's favorite starter of that all-inspiring word, controversy, Justin. In hindsight, Justin is actually a great Ranger.
Yeah, there's just a few issues with him that I'm going to state. He's just a little too perfect. There's certain instances they wrote the other Rangers like they're a bunch of idiots, even though they're a bit older, so they should understand certain situations better. They wrote them like idiots in certain scenes. I guess they could kind of rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, and also as well, they made him a bit, like you said, they made him a bit too perfect with him being like, I'm this super genius, so the fact that I'm going to do what the anime characters do. I'm going to skip grades and be in high school, even though I'm like 12 years old.
That has happened, like not to that far extent, at least not where it's gonna happen somewhere,
Oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just rare.
Absolutely, but well, again, looking back on Justin and his character, like he's not bad as a character. And I don't feel he deserves as much hate as he gets, because for one thing, he actually does have a little bit of an arc if you really think about it. Like he's always wanting his dad to just be in his life, and it's kind of like, and I feel like that's kind of helps explain why he's such a why like was someone who would be sitting down to kind of study. It was, I think he kind of got in mindset like, if I study hard and become a brainiac, then maybe my dad will stick around more often. That's just my opinion.
Unfortunately, we didn't really
character.
see that from Justin. He would.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues with like part 1 of like, Turbo. That we're not going to get into.
We're not going to get into what. Well, for one thing, Turbo Part 1 doesn't have the giant pizza. I am never gonna get over that. Like the fact that they added that in Super Sentai and in Power Rangers.
There are weirder stuff that happened way before that.
Oh my god! I could, yeah.
I will tell you some of these weird moments when we're done with this.
I already know one of them. It's the garbage can. Yeah, no,
that's one of the funniest like finishing attacks ever.
Yeah. So
the monster gets yeeted into a trash can. And then into a like garbage truck. That is
a garbage truck, like the garbage truck. But yeah, just as a character, I honestly don't mind as much as others do.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I do feel he is kind of flat, and like, I remember seeing like something said that like, that the Power Rangers are teenagers, so like they're easy to look up to for kids. But Justin diminishes that like ability to look up to the Rangers, and I think that's kind of malarkey. I think Justin could also represent that like anybody can be a Ranger. Like it doesn't, whether they're a young child, a teenager, an adult, an old coot.
Yeah,
like anybody could have the good qualities of a Ranger.
Yeah, I am amazed that people think like that, like the Ranger, because really from this point on, now that I think about it, from like Lost Galaxy to from Lost Galaxy to Wild Force, like most of the Rangers are adults.
Yeah, so I think like you hit pretty much nail on the head. I think most of the hate towards this character was mostly jealousy.
Yeah, it was like also as well, the reason why Justin exists as well is because of the fact that they had Big Bad Beetleborgs going on at the time, and that starred kids turning into superheroes. So they probably thought like, well, it worked for there, so it would work here.
I can kind of see that angle too, Luke.
Yeah, and I can see that, and I can see that as well. But it didn't pan out as well as they thought it would. It just begs the question of like, as well, what would have happened if Justin had gone into space with the other Rangers? That's a hypothetical what if scenario. But yeah, so. Where would you put Justin?
I'd put him in average.
Yeah, I'll give him that. That's gonna piss off a lot of Jason fanboys.
I don't care. It's not their list. It's our list.
Yeah, it's our list. I mean, if you think differently, that's fine. But like, don't be a bunch of haters.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no hate. There is no hatred when it don't be like the One Piece community is at the moment. So where would you put Justin in average? Like, would you put him at the bottom of average, in the middle, or at the top?
I wouldn't put him past Ashley. I'd put him either below or above Aisha. Also, one moment.
Okay. Where would you put him, Zangetsu?
Yeah, pretty much the same.
All right. Yeah, I would put him at the bottom of average. He's much better than Jason.
I mean, that's not that hard for
because for one, even though Justin is a kid, he has way more personality than Jason ever Jason ever
PC
did.
Cat is up next.
Oh my God, Cat. Well, because of the fact that she's Australian, that it instantly gets points for me because I've got family in Australia, so that instantly gives points to me, and she can transform into a cat, so that instantly gives another points to me. But yeah, I do. Cat has, in my opinion, the best introduction of Mighty Morphin.
She has one of the best introductions of like all time like Rangers because it's just like she is pretty much a plot device to destroy the Rangers, but at the same time she becomes one of their greatest allies eventually.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
as in become part of the team.
Absolutely, and I love that the fact that she starts off as an antagonist, but slowly over the course of her arc, she like becomes more open with the Rangers and feels guilty about what she was doing under Rita and said, which I really wish they had touched up on that in Once and Always, where when she saw Rita again after all those years, and we got a line of like, "Have you come back to be a cat? That would have been such an hilarious line for Rita to say. Have you come back to be my cat?
Like why that didn't happen because that's not.
I know, but that would.
I'm not. Well, Pete probably already saw it already, so I'm just gonna say. Well, it's not the actual Rita. It's just her essence. It's not the person. Yeah.
I know, but it would have been hilarious for Rita to say, "Have you come back to me, my cat?
Have you come back to me, PC Cat?
Cat."
I also find it like very ironic. She's right next to Kimberly on this list.
My name is Catherine. No, it's Cat. But yeah, I also love the fact that when she starts off, she's not the greatest ranger, and kind of has to learn as she goes because she's not a martial arts expert. Whereas
and like the bits of like, all right, you're gonna become a new ranger. So I love that Zordon was like, all right, the rest of the team just like slowly teach her the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then as time goes on, like Cat starts to become a bit more of a competent leader. I mean, not competent, more competent ranger.
Yeah,
and like, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was.
I was finished.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But of course, there is the elephant in the room that we have to address with Kat, and that is what happened with her in terms of Tommy. It's like, why break up Tommy and Kimberly for Tommy and Kat? Why couldn't it have been Adam and Kat?
Honestly,
because it's just like he's the most popular ranger, so we have to have interest on him at all times.
But we were already going to have interest. Like, Seal was basically Tommy's season. It was the season of Tommy.
Yeah, Zio was kind of the Tommy Oliver show.
Yeah. So what more did he like? We got introduced to his brother. He was made officially the leader by being the Red Ranger. He got possessed to being to thinking he was the king of the Machine Empire,
which was a really good like multi-parter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He brought back Tyler's arch nemesis to be the Gold Ranger when it should have been his brother. So what more did we need from Tommy in that season?
I don't know. I'm not like the producers and stuff. You know how weird these people are when they think about money.
Yeah.
They're so nonsensical when they think about money.
Well, like we said, all the money got spent on the diapers.
Exactly, like that.
For Tommy's real life son. Oh my god! But
Well,
yeah,
no, they used up all the diapers by just misusing them.
well, yeah. So, Kat, the fact that she's been brought back a couple of times, so so we got more Cats to look forward to in the future. I think she would be the first ranger that would be on great here. I mean, she's not amazing, but I do like her more than Ashley and Carlos. I mean, Cassie and Carlos. What about you guys?
For me, oh, you go ahead, Tom.
No, you go ahead.
I would say for me as well is great for the time we had her on the show.
Yeah, because she
has been terrific.
Yeah, because she was despite her only being like one full season, she really did leave an impact for both positively and negatively. So, what about you, Tyler?
I'd probably say either top of good or great.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. Cat's great.
Mm-hmm. Kimberly.
Actually, now that I think about it, was the only reason Cat was a cat was because she was under Eater's control?
Yeah, she was a real person.
Yeah, it was she was like transforming into a cat.
Yeah, I really want to know
her own backstory and everything about her being a great diver.
I really want to know, what if she ever told them like she was the cat. That's what I want to know. But maybe that's the story for another time. Yeah, Kimberly. Everyone's favorite love interest waifu that back in the day, who was literally the definition of a stereotypical valley girl. Like, really, as much as
say like fully, like it's not like she had like the negative elements of that. Like she actually did help out people a lot, and whatever else. It's just like that thing of like season 1 in which most of the characters didn't really have like super defining factors other than Billy, and he got more of that throughout the seasons, but weren't really like that bad either.
Yeah, I definitely
other
say
than Jason. Jason is just flat. There's like nothing. But we're not talking about him.
No.
Yeah. But with Kimberly, I definitely think she was like a lot better in season 2 because she got more defining character traits. Because like we even see like in season 2, like that she becomes a de facto leader for the Wild West West Ranger. That's a tongue twister and a half.
Yeah, and also she generated the also classic line, "Too much pink energy is dangerous."
Oh.
Which
we'll find out why later.
Yeah, well, which we're gonna find out why. Well, actually, Tyler already knows because it was touched upon in Once and Always. Like, the morphing grid can't handle duplications of active powers. So we'll see the full ramifications of that later on. But yeah, Kimberly, like you said, yeah, really does come into her own in season 2 by being the de facto leader, even though it does not make any sense whatsoever.
I mean, it does make sense. Like out of all the, like, she has the most she's there and she's the most experienced out of all of them when it comes to being a ranger because she's the only one who is a ranger. So she's
what I'm talking about is like what I'm talking about is like even though it makes sense to her, like it doesn't make sense for them because they're not martial arts experts.
Well, neither was Billy at the start of the series.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. Fair enough. Good point.
Yeah, and even then, like, neither is Kimberly because she's a gymnast.
Yeah, and the first few episodes, they were just fumbling around during their fights against the party.
Oh my god! With the episode classic, hey, let's lock on with each other, and give Neo from the Matrix a run for his money. Oh my god! But yeah. So where would we put Kimberly?
I'd put her in great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, put her next to PC Cat.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
which is they're both together, side by side together. Oh, they would have made the best of friends had Kimberly stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind you, unless Tommy came into the pic, unless Tommy was brought up. Yeah. That is a storyline that I would like if Amy Jo Johnson was at least willing to come back as Kimberly, but not as the Pink Ranger, to explore that angle, like a storyline about what Kat and Kimberly actually why the relationship actually went when in terms of what happened with Tommy. That would be a good little story to explore. But it doesn't seem like Amy Jo Johnson will want to come back to Power Rangers, even if she doesn't don the spandex anymore. But really, at some point, I'd love to sit down and watch one of her movies. Like I said,
Yeah. The next up.
I'm just going to say, because we can find them. There's a place we can find them and watch them at some point. Yeah. But anyway, next up is what is the Ranger that Tyler has probably been waiting for.
Justice for Rocky.
Justice for Rocky.
Justice for Rocky, the most underrated Ranger out of this entire list.
I fully
in my
agree.
opinion, the most underrated.
Okay, because
what do you mean your opinion, Tyler? You're 100% right.
You're 100% right. Yeah. Rocky. Honest. Now that I think about it, because I was a bit harsh on Rocky. Later in the first video we did, but yeah, he is actually a fun character, especially in that one episode where. You know what it's like. You know what it's about. Rocky just wants to have fun, and by
That's
fun,
literally the title.
And by fun, he means insults Native Americans all over the world.
And by all over the world, we mean right next to him, because Tommy was right there.
I still can't believe they actually included that in. But yeah. This was what, because I was talking to someone in another Discord server about us doing this. This is what they have to say about Rocky. I have not seen your video, but I have to say off the top of my head, Rocky is near the bottom mainly because he doesn't too much outside of a few character-focused episodes, wasted potential really. And I said, "Oh boy, my partner, one of my partners in the video will disagree with that 100%."
Definitely more potential than Jason.
Yeah, he had more. I honestly, I get what they mean. Like, Rocky did not really have much of a character, and honestly, I think there could have been potential for Rocky and Zeo.
Yeah, to be fair,
hear me out. Let me cook.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but let me cook on this one. Okay, so, Rocky got the position as the Red Ranger, the guy who's supposed to be the leader, got overshadowed by Tommy, the White Ranger.
Well, technically, at that point, Tommy was officially named as the leader.
Fair enough. But then he gets demoted, in quotes, from Red Ranger to Blue Ranger to make room for Tommy. And then the guy he replaced comes back, and then Bulk gets Skull's goofy asses come along and just kind of rub salt in the wound. There could have been like a perfect arc for like King Mondo and the Machine Empire to play on Rocky's insecurities and his jealousy. I may be the only person who's like thinking this, but like
no, you
I don't
actually
even think he had jealousy to begin with.
I don't think he had jealousy, but definitely I would have actually played up more, because we got that episode where Rocky just wants to have fun, where he basically lets one of his emotions drive him at one point, like his playful nature. It takes over him to the point of like he becomes like a more like, oh, I don't like that about you, Rocky. Like maybe they could have played up that angle where Rocky is a character where his emotions do tend to get the better of him at times, and he has to kind of be brought down a peg.
And he did have that kind of like jealousy towards Jason, because like he tried to take like I'm like it was the episode where he went in his Super Zeo Zord and tried to take on like, I think it was, he tried to take King Mondo or one of his minions on his own, and got fucking gollywopped.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Like, I think they could have really, King Mondo could have really played on Rocky's insecurities, and I think we could have gotten some more development, and maybe even some more screen time for Rocky. Because I'll be honest, I am convinced that the writers just kind of hate Rocky, because the amount of shit that like that. It feels like they just kind of shit on Rocky. Like it's like DBZA season 1 with Krillin.
Yeah. This is what the guy said in the other Discord server. Pretty much what he said. I like Rocky. It's just him, Aisha, and Adam really suffered from lack of character episodes. I'm replacing Jason's second training, in my opinion, especially Rocky and Aisha. At least Adam was a main cast member in CEO on the first half of Turbo. Plus, Gag his great in space episode with Carlos, and a certain other episode coming up in a future season. But yeah, I feel like the problem with Rocky and why the writers seem to hate him is the exact reason why people hate Tracy in Pokemon. Because I feel like Jason, from what we like, Jason is often regarded by Mighty Morphin fans as like the greatest Red Ranger, and it's like anybody who replaces him was always going to get shat on. As much it probably pains you to realize that, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Rocky is definitely underrated. He deserves more. Thankfully, he got more. He got at least his chance to shine in Once and Always.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really wish he had done more in that special as well. So yeah, I would. Where would you put Rocky?
I'm like debating between like bottom of great or top of good.
You know what? Because Rocky deserves a lot of love, I'm putting him in great. It's that I love that episode. I love that Rocky wants to have fun episode, and that alone puts him in great for me. What about you, Zangetsu?
I would put him in good.
So, Tyler, are you saying the bottom of great? Or top of good?
Top of good.
Okay, we'll put him in good. So there we go. At least Rocky is higher than Cassie, Carlos, Ashley, Aisha, Justin, and Jason. So he does have some justice after all.
All right, Luke, it's your turn. It's Tanya.
Okay, Tanya. Wasted. You want to talk about wasted potential? You think Rocky was wasted potential? Tanya was wasted potential so much. The issue I have with Tanya so much, so badly, is the fact that when she comes from the future after replacing Aisha, she literally does nothing different than what Aisha did. Like,
Be right back.
Okay, I am going to rant now. This is my ranting time. Like, Tanya could have been so much a fish out of water. Which is pretty much what Andros did. What they did with Andros is what I wish they'd done with Tanya. Like, she comes to Sage Grove, has no bearings on modern customs. It's just fascinating. Actually, there is another ranger coming up in Dino Charge that does the whole. I'm a character from the past in the future really, really well, and I love them for it. And I really wish they'd done this with Tanya, but they don't. Like, she basically it's like once she comes into the future, she basically becomes Aisha, and that is my main issue with her as a character.
That I kind of feel like with her, I felt like there was like a literal time skip, and she got accustomed to everything, and then they point the camera at her. That's how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do feel like that, and I wish you don't. I wish we had an episode where, because it would have been a great episode to tell to kids, like, hey, don't just trust everything everyone says. Like, she could have, like, there could have been an episode where it was like where we had someone come up to her just at random, just for a joke, and say, hey, the tribes of the past have all been wiped out, and she absolutely goes ape shit about that, like panicking, worried about, is my family all right? Is everyone all right? All of this, all of that, blah blah blah. And it realized, oh no, we were just having a joke. And she's like, why would you joke about something like that? Just something, anything to give an example of, like, she's out of her comfort zone here. She's in it. Even just something as simple as, like, say, oh, what is this strange, non-horse-powered machine? That's a car, Aisha. No, that's a car, Tanya. A car, really? Like, okay,
yeah, they could have had scenes, like, I think they kind of did it better with, like, Maya, but we're not on that. One.
Yeah, we're not with Maya. We'll get to Maya. when we possibly do a tier list.
You're right. They could have had a scene in which, like, a dialogue scene is she'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, because like, this is like hundreds of years.
Yeah, I mean,
the language isn't going to be the same. That's like a British person coming to the future and having a conversation with you, Luke. They wouldn't understand a word come out of your mouth.
Yeah, they would be like they would be. Yeah, it would be like, say, if my the younger version of my grandmother, like, who's alive today, came into the future and was like, what is this box with people in? That's a TV. TV? Like, something like that. Like, okay, there is just to say for one thing as well. There's a series I'm reading at the moment, like, that I am just absolutely obsessed with, called The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. And one of the girlfriends, like, it's a parody series. It's not meant to be taken seriously. One of the girlfriends is a grandmother who's, like, really, really, really old, and she does. As much as I hate the joke that's going on with her at the moment, she does what Tanya should have done: be like confused about modern tech. Like, she'll go like, "Oh, what? Oh, this magic box with people in. Oh, this non-horse-powered horsepower vehicle." Like, I'm like, this is what Tanya should have been doing.
the thing is the fact that I'm just, as you said, that I'm wondering myself, wait, people take harem series serious?
No. What I'm saying, like, this is just a parody of the series. Is a parody of the harem genre. Like, it's the most absurd concept ever, but I adore the series. Primarily for its fourth wall breaking and the fact that the authors themselves give defecating humor to themselves. So I love it for that. But yeah, that character in there basically doing what Tanya did. And yeah. Oh, Tanya, you could have been such a great character and gone such a great arc, but no, you had to be someone who basically came in and stole Aisha's spotlight, and that's frustrating as well. Like the fact that Tanya comes in without the actual actress for Aisha getting a proper send off.
Yeah, it was just the like the kid version of her, like the actor stand-in.
Now,
it wasn't even actually her.
One of the only good things I do like about Tanya is the another song and dance episode where she has to sing all her lines along with Tommy.
That was the best episode of Zio.
That
in
was
terms of just like entertainment value,
which is ironic because it's Tanya and Tommy's actor's least favorite episode because of the fact that they literally had to sing all their lines, which I can understand why.
She came on on I keep forgetting what's the name of like Kat's channel. YouTube.
I know what you're referring to. Yeah, but when she came on to it, what did she say about that episode?
She hated it.
To be honest, I don't blame her. It's a fun episode to watch, but if I was them too, it would have been a nightmare. Particularly for me, it would be a lot worse because I am such a bad singer that if you heard me properly singing, you would wanna go into a Megazord and fly all the way to Aquitar. That's how bad of a singer I am. Yeah. So yeah, Tanya. I honestly, I would put her at the tail end of average. What do you guys think?
Well, I can't put her in bad. Like,
she's not. I'm not going that far. Like,
I was just thinking, where above in like less than a spot than average. It's just like I process stuff sometimes with like tier lists. But yeah, I'll let tail end average.
Yeah. I feel bad now because all the Yellow Rangers are in average.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
better than Tanya ending up in bad.
Blame the writers.
Yeah. Which thankfully, when we get to future seasons, there will be Yellow Rangers out of average.
Yeah, depending on what season, I feel like a Yellow Ranger is going to be an amazing.
Oh, there is one amazing Yellow Ranger coming up. But yeah, where would you put her higher than Justin?
No.
Honestly, I feel Tanya's kind of on par with Justin, though it's kind of more of like a big, like.
Okay.
It's more of a detracting factor because of for the fact that Tanya has more screen time than Justin.
That's fair. But there is one other thing that I hate about Tanya's character. Not the character itself, it's another character. Sean! I hate Sean! Discounted Richie for Tanya. Ugh, I hate that character. I literally, Sean was like, I blocked Sean from my memory, and only now he's just come back. I'm like, I can't believe I remember that character. I wanted to forget him so much, but yeah,
Richie, such the great support character. He was always there, just standing there.
Oh my god!
Red hair
oh my god,
and
Sean,
giving a thumbs
why
up.
did you exist? You did not need to exist. But yeah, I'll put Tanya in average above Justin. Would you say that's fair?
Okay.
Okay. Now up to TJ. Before, well, you guys can start with TJ. Well, I just go and get something quickly.
I honestly really like TJ. I think he might be like my favorite from the new Turbo Rangers. But like oh look like even though Andros was like the Red Ranger, it definitely felt like TJ was kind of still the leader, but he's just like just chilling, be like, "Okay, I'll let Andros handle this."
No, it felt like what people expect the Blue Ranger to be is like the right hand man. He knows how to get the job done. He knows how to keep like the rest of the team in line, type of thing. He just knows what to do when he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm back. Yeah, I agree with that, and also as well, he's kind of like he's kind of like the leader who's like no, I insist I insist on us helping you, because he was the first one who's just like, I don't care what you say, Andros, we're coming to help you when in the beginning of In Space, and he does kind of take on the role of the strategy. If you really think about it, he does take on the role of the strategist sometimes in Space. Perfect example is during the Psycho Ranger saga, when he was coming up with all those strategies to kind of defeat them. Like one of the examples, swapping opponents, and also changing so that they were all in Blue Ranger uniforms. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have many. Although, no, actually, there is one thing I do love about TJ. For the fact that he basically got trolled by a car. Do you remember that when Lightning Cruiser came in and he was trying to, I'm gonna be with you. No, you're not. I'm gonna be with you. No, you're not. And then the car was literally laughing at him. Yeah. But yeah, where would we put TJ?
Honestly, I'd say kind of hard. Where would Jins put him?
Me personally, because of like how good he was like in Space, even though he was like a really good Red Ranger, I felt like he was a great Blue Ranger and like the example of like what a good Blue Ranger should be.
Yeah, I feel like he was more suited to be a support rather than a leader.
Yeah, I do feel he was better as a as a Blue Ranger than a Red Ranger. I would put him either in top of good or bottom of great. I'm leaning towards bottom of great.
I'd say bottom of great. Yeah,
I'll say bottom of great as well. And now we're up to the man himself,
Tommy Oliver.
Rest in peace, Jason Dave Frank. And also as well, oh, that's sad. That is actually sad. Now that I think about it, we've got Jason and Frank and Tui Chang next to each other. So rest in peace to the two of them. But yeah, Tommy Oliver, the most overutilized Ranger to the point that it's like, okay, it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is based off of one season. I put him in amazing, but we're not there, so no.
Now, actually, I know exactly which season you're referring to, and Fex, which also, by the way, we haven't really addressed. Yeah, Fex isn't with us because they are dealing with personal issues, so they give us our blessing to have fun with this. But yeah, Fex has some issues with Tommy later on. But yeah, there is an amazing episode later on for Tommy. When we get to that season, and we'll know the episode when we get to it. But yeah, in the early days with Tommy, it's like, what even was his character? Now that I think about it, like looking back and having seen all of that Mighty Morphin, in CO he did have more of a defining character in the sense that he went through the notions of I've broken up with my girlfriend and but I've got something better in return because I finally get to reunite with my long lost brother. But at the same time, what was his character in Mighty Morphin?
He kind of became like a bit like regressed a bit from Turbo and became a little bit more annoying because it was just like, oh, this entire season is themed around vehicles, so let me be obsessed with cars now.
Yeah, like the whole car thing came out of nowhere. Like,
if it was building up to the fact where he opens his locker and there you see a poster of a race car or something. Did we get that? No. This came out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like he was supposed to be like the new kid. He was cool and whatnot. And then Rita Repulsa was like, "Hey, this kid is pretty cool. Let me kidnap him." Because that's what she did. She did kidnap him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she says, "I have chosen you," which really translates to "you're going to be evil because shut up."
Yes, I'm going to have this power core and I'm going to give you, even though Zordon should have asked, "Do I have the full set?"
How do you have the power core? But yeah, I do generally love the idea of the fact that as well, you could literally make an entire team of Rangers based off Tommy's. Like just that, yeah. People joke about being the Tommy Oliver show featuring the Power Rangers. They really should do an animated season, an animated special of just like it's the Tommy Oliver show as the Power Rangers, where it's just all of his Ranger outfits as
featuring
one team.
featuring TJ.
Yeah, featuring TJ. No,
because he recognizes TJ as the red for Turbo.
Yeah, or featuring Jason, so that Tyler can watch it with us and be very happy about that. But no. But aside from a few,
like it's not like he was like a bad character. Like I liked him.
He's not bad. He's not a bad character.
Not a bad character.
He is a decent leader. He's not like he's a full like cardboard cutout compared to like the previous leader.
Yeah, I do. What I do also like about Tommy is when Demetria comes on as the mentor, and he's just like, tell me what to do, and then Alpha Six is like, yo. She doesn't she doesn't give answers. She asks questions, and he's just like, just tell me already. Like he gets annoyed by some of the quippiness at times.
But yeah, he's like he doesn't really like beat around the bush either. Like. So I understand why he would get upset by that in character.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah. But aside from he's not a bad character, but at the same time, looking back on it and having seen everything of Tommy up until this point, it's like, people. I feel like people are honestly blinded by nostalgia. Like they
are blinded by nostalgia, and this part of the series isn't even the best of Tommy. So
yeah, like truly blinded by nostalgia. Like they call Tommy like a really great, amazing, awesome, like the best ever, and it's like really, the only reason why you call him the best ever is because that's the only part of Mighty Morphin season 1 you remember. Tommy coming in, losing his powers, and then gaining them back.
And to be honest, like after he got his Green Ranger powers like back temporarily, every other episode it was just basically it's 4 o'clock. It's time for me to come back home and watch Tommy get his ass kicked.
Yeah, that's bad when Tommy gets outdone by a slug snail monster that takes his powers,
or gets brainwashed again, or gets a personality change that turns him into a prick 3 times.
3 times, and also as well, he's responsible. He is responsible for the single worst Ranger costumes of all time, the said Dark Rangers.
Oh,
yeah. Anybody who remembers those Dark Ranger outfits, that's all down to Tommy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like we say, Tommy is not a bad character, but he definitely, Billy will always be better than Tommy in every way.
Yeah, though I do recognize the impact that Tommy's character definitely had on the series and drawing all the fans in, which I do appreciate. It's just I think Tommy is drastically overhyped.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then he becomes like suitably hyped later. For right now, he's overrated.
There will be when we get to a certain episode of the franchise, Tyler, there will be a point where it's like where you will be frustrated about Tommy to the point like you just want it to end. Zangetsu, you probably know the one that I'm referring to.
Yeah. I would put him like at this point in time. I would put him at the top of good.
Yeah, top of good.
I'd say that's fair. That's fair for Tommy. Yeah. Now, Trini. Again, rest in peace to Fu Trang. Honestly, looking back, I do like as I've got like now in my adult years, I do like Trini a lot more, particularly with the relationship that she has with Billy. Like it's a very believable friendship that they have. Like she's the one who's always by his side. Like she might even be as technically smart as Billy at times, because you always see her like always being the one to help him out with his techno stuff, and she's the only one who can actually understand his techno babble.
Yeah, she's basically like his translator. It's like, okay, we're gonna have to. It's like, Billy, you're gonna have to stop saying this. Stop saying sodium and just say salt, so they can understand.
Yeah, and like Billy said in Once and Always, he wouldn't be there today if she didn't have overcome her fear of heights. So it really. I do love that. Really love that aspect of What's Noise, because I've been back and watched it a couple of times after we watched it, and it really just does seem like Billy had so much respect for Trini.
I think that heights thing would have came up more with jumping like vertically up to a 7-story tall dinosaur robot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But that's something I really wish they had done more with Trini's character, of her being kind of like she's Billy's translator, but I really wish she was more like Billy's confidant as a character. Like if he had more insecurities about his abilities, and she was just like his shoulder to cry on, like the good, reliable friend that he knew he always had by his side.
That and her like few focus episodes are very much a mixed bag.
Yeah. Really like my personal favorite focus episode of her is the second episode with her overcoming her fear of heights. Because that really does help both her character and Billy's character in the long run. But yeah, I would say she is definitely one of the more underrated Rangers, which I feel like people only do remember Tanya for behind the scenes. No, not Tanya, Trini. Sorry. They only remember Trini, mostly because she's the first Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger, but also for the fact of what happened with her actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to put her higher, but we just don't have that much to go off of.
I am gonna put it, because I don't want all the Yellow Rangers to be an average. I'm gonna put her in good.
All right, I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Really, myself, I would put all the Yellow Rangers in average at this point in time.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put her at the top of average. Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Right, and everyone's favorite hip hop aikido dancing fighter, Zack. Sackety Sack. Zack was a fun character.
Zack was a fun character, and I'll be honest, I feel like Zack's character is really helped by Once and Always.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like, we still see the Zack from the original Mighty Morphin in Once and Always, but I feel like Once and Always just fleshes out Zack even more.
Oh,
and makes him more three-dimensional.
Oh, absolutely, because he does seem to be a character that has grown over the years through the experiences, both from being a ranger to being like a normal hero in his own right.
Yep.
Yeah, like he even took the whole peace conference bullshit and actually became a congressman.
Yeah, and can we just say Walter Jones has aged like fine wine?
Oh, absolutely.
Walter Jones and David Yost, like they've both they look so similar to how they did back in the old day, but just have that like old wise sage about them. And I do love how Zack incorporates his breakdancing into his fighting style as well, but this is something that I actually have to question about Zack, because I did not know about this until recently. Walter Jones has a finger missing on one of his hands. So it's like when he morphs, does he grow back a finger?
He does it. The stunt actor has all the fingers. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that's something I did not know about Walter Jones until recently. Like, wait, he only has 4 fingers on one of his hands, and the fact that I did not notice that when watching it back in the day and watching it now just shows how much fun Zack was as a character that you don't pay attention to. You don't pay attention to things around him. Like, you are just watching him and watching him be the life of the party. Which, now that I think about it, if Zack stayed on until the end of Mighty Morphing, would he be one of the Rangers going to Master File's end of the world party?
Probably just go there just for to punch some of the monsters in the face instead of dance.
Oh no! I want that now. I want a hypothetical. What if Zack was at Master File's party? Would he? What? Oh my god! Imagine him having a dance off with Rita Affolter.
Yep.
Can you
I also
imagine
love that special as well. But we're going to do this in a vacuum. How do we feel about Zack at the time?
Oh, Suck at the Time was great. He was brilliant. Yeah. So, but in terms of like on, would you say he's at the top of amazing or no, not the top? No,
I would
at the
not
top
put
of
him in
great.
amazing.
No, I meant to say at the top of great. Because I really feel he
probably
should be
top of
high up there.
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
top of good.
Is he better than Tommy?
At this point, just slightly.
Yes.
Okay.
Ever so slightly, just a teeny tiny bit.
Okay. And now to our last one, Zane. The first Silver Ranger.
I'll be honest.
Honestly, go ahead.
I think Zane was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, he had a strong start, but after that, I feel like that's kind of more limited by the Sentai footage because
Yeah, they kind of had to put him on the shelf because his counterpart had like a time limit with his transformation. He always had that time limit. It didn't just magically disappear, and that's the issue.
Yeah,
they didn't have enough
because
footage with him, so they had to, have him take a back seat a lot of the time.
yeah, because I'm on his wiki page now, and he was only in 16 episodes, which just hurts his character. But he did have, I will say this, he did have a strong start because when we got to that point when Say was cryogenically frozen, I don't know. I remember that. I remember when we were watching those episodes, and that actually shocked you, Tyler.
Yeah, that did. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I just thought of some weird parallel between him and Tommy. Like Tommy in like first 2 seasons of like his like he like the footage for like the Green Ranger and then of course the the White Ranger / Tiger. But it's just like there wasn't that much footage of either one of those. And it was just they were just using like the same few clips over and over and over again.
Yeah, that is a particular issue, especially when it comes to Sane as well. But one thing, oh my god, one thing I do love about him is that he seems to be a guy who's the opposite of switcheroo on the gender stereotypes of like. Usually, it's the girl who's like, I'm a fan of the bad boy. Now it's Sane who's a fan of the bad girl. When he starts pining over Andros' sister.
Yeah, she looks like a lady on the pinup of like an 80s like magazine. I would totally date her.
Yeah, and then it's like when he finds out that she's actually Corone, he's like a bit awkward around Andros, but it's like
this is a bit awkward, but I'm still okay with it.
and of course as well, Ashley has to get in the way and be pining for Sane as well, which also makes Andros super jelly.
Yeah.
And also,
Total Drama has conditioned me to despise love triangles. So I hated those episodes.
Oh, if you watch Jetman with me, you'll definitely hate love triangles because it's going to turn into the Pentagon.
Oh my god! But also as well, saying there is no excuse you have for making the Rangers think that you're gonna die.
Yeah, that was kind of a dick move.
That was a dick move.
Especially your best friend who already thought you were going to die because you were in a coma for a long ass time.
Yeah, that was a dick move, saying you do not get a free pass for that.
Especially with the implications of like what the heck happened to the rest of the team.
Yeah. But yeah, I would put Sane as sort of like an average
Yeah, I'd put Zane in average.
Yeah.
Put him in the middle of average. I don't
Yeah.
know where.
Oh no, we can't put him in the middle of average because he'd be sandwiched between ladies, and he's got too many ladies in his life.
Oh, ha ha, funny.
Okay, we'll put him in. We'll put him in average. So yeah, that is it. No trash rangers for now.
We hadn't got to the Trash Rangers yet, but we're gonna get to them eventually.
We're gonna get to them eventually. But yeah, this was fun. This was fun to do, and hopefully we can do this again for Lost Galaxy through to Wild Force.
Oh, that talking about that is gonna be a bit awkward.
Yeah,
what makes it awkward?
We'll get to it when we get to it with Wild Force.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll understand when we get to that season, Tyler.
Oh.
You know the one. Just finish. Fix it. Fexer said just finished Chainsaw Man. I figured I'd drop by for a second. Lol. From Fex actually commented. Let me look at the comments. Yes, I do. Draken versus the show. Yo, shut up, Six. I was totally lost when looking at that. But yeah, and I don't know what's happened to the list on my end. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this was fun to do, and soon enough it will go up on the Control Chaos channel if Vex decides to download this live stream and put it up on there. And yeah, so until next time, peace.
Peace.
Peace.